Welcome back to Simulation. If you have not seen any of the previous chapters, be sure to watch those first. I'll put the link to every single one of them in the description below. So without further ado, let's hop right into chapter 6. In the police station, Hillary headed inside and asked the officer if she could visit a person. When she tried to explain who she wanted to see, since she did not get the intruder's name, the cop was hesitant to let her inside, but she convinced him to, just by saying that if the police want any information from her, she would have the best chance at getting it. The officer reluctantly agreed and led Hillary to her holding cell area. Her wrists were still cuffed and she still had rage in her eyes. Without even looking up, she knew Hillary was there. The officer told her she had 5 minutes and left the room.
"What do you want?" the prisoner growled without looking up.
"Everything you know," Hillary replied.
"Like I said," the girl snapped at her.
"If you want that knowledge from me, you need to fight for it."
"Oh, but guess what?" Hillary remarked quickly.
"You will talk this time." The prisoner finally looked up. "Really?" she asked. "What could you possibly know about me?" Hillary looked her dead in the eyes.
"Everything," she said.
"Once I learned your name, I learned everything else about you. I took a fingerprint scan that I found on the large jacket you were wearing." She began to whisper to her. "Your name is Jane Morgan. You have a ton of criminal records on you, and you were also presumed dead 2 months ago. You're not afraid to die because everyone thinks you're dead anyway. However, I will expose your identity to the public, as well as your actions and all the crimes you've committed with just the push of a button, unless you give me the information I need. So tell me everything about your boss and where you're going to take Nail." Hillary lifted the phone screen to Jane, ensuring she saw it well. She was recorded during their first interrogation, and there was more footage of her criminal actions. Hillary was just a few inches from pressing that button when Jane finally confessed. She told Hillary where she could find Harry, why he was taken in the first place, and how she will have to defeat several of her other guards in order to get to him. "Tell me about your boss," Hillary continued. "Who is he?" "He's the man who orchestrated the experiments from the beginning," Jane began. "He started with all of us, and then he forced us to join him or die. He will do the same to Harry and the other subjects." "And what is this accomplishing?" "He never told us why we had to do any of this. It was either obey him or die. You see now what I mean by you wouldn't see Harry again. He will force him to do what I did." "Tell me the name of your boss." "You wouldn't believe me if I told you. He and Harry have quite a famous past, and not in a good way." "Tell me anyway." "If you insist. Like me, he is also presumed dead. His name is Aaron Slake. If you want to find your brother, you'll have to face Slake first, and then convince him to release Harry." Hillary took a moment to take it all in. "Good to know," she said. "Thanks for your cooperation, Jane." "Hey, I could help you," Jane continued. "Help?" Hillary asked. "You told me everything I needed to know. What more could you offer?" "If you're going to Slake's laboratory, you may want someone who knows the area well to guide you. I can be that guide." "I don't need a guide," Hillary snapped. "Remember, Jane, I have the upper hand here. I could expose you at any moment, and that's what you're afraid of. I know the second I release you from those handcuffs, you'll try to kill me. I'm not taking that chance. So, enjoy your time in prison. I will be on my way to your boss." Before Jane could say another word, Hillary turned and left as the cop was about to head in. "Time's up," he said. "Did you happen to get any information about her?" "Nope," Hillary said, shaking her head. "She told me to go to hell." All I know about her is that she's a criminal who needs to be locked away forever. Thanks though for letting me see her. Have a nice day.
Before the officer could reply, Hillary turned and left the building.
Hope and Noah were outside the building waiting for her to come back. When Hillary returned, she told them both everything she collected from Jane and how she was able to convince her to reveal everything. Now all they had to do was find and rescue Harry and stop Aaron Slake. Simple, except not at all. A guard was standing in a dark room with a person tied to a chair. He held a gun in his hand and he had an eye patch over his right eye. He locked eyes with his hostage. "You surprised me," he said to her. "No one has ever destroyed a simulation from the inside before. How did you do that?" "You're clever," the tied hostage replied. "Figure it out." "Refusing to negotiate, I see," he remarked. "Do you know why you're even here right now?" "Oh, I don't know. Maybe because some creep just won't let an innocent girl be free," she snapped. "First off, this is just business," he began. "Nothing personal. Second, I've been informed that your new friend who helped you escape is on the loose, and he is looking for you. And third," a gunshot was heard and the man gasped in shock. A bullet just drove straight through his back and the man slowly fell to the floor. "Go on," the girl said sarcastically. She looked up at the person who shot him and saw a familiar face approaching her. "You look a lot different from what I remember," he said. Although it was tough to recognize his face, Octavia immediately recognized the voice when he spoke and felt a sense of relief. "So do you, Harry," she said, smiling. That doesn't matter," Harry continued, shaking his head. "Let's get you out of here." "Where are the others?" Octavia asked. "They're okay for now," Harry answered. "But unfortunately, I cannot help them leave until I know for sure that you are safe." "Why?" she wondered. "Why is reaching me first more important than saving so many other lives?" "Because the boss knows who I am," Harry quickly stated. "He knows I escaped. We even crossed paths." Octavia was baffled and worried. "How did you get away?" "I didn't," Harry answered. "He let me go. But before he did, he gave me a difficult choice that I cannot make." "What did he say?" "That doesn't matter. Not now that I found you. Once you're out of here, the boss won't be able to stop the rest of us. Now let's go before more guards show up." Without any hesitation, Harry released her from the chair and ran to the door. She had no choice but to follow him. What was going to happen to Wade and the rest of them? Will they be alright? How will they escape if they just leave? This doesn't feel right. She couldn't just let Harry rescue everyone alone. However, Harry wasn't giving her a choice. The second they got outside, Harry told her to get far away from this place. "Not without knowing the others are okay," she yelled. "Let me help." "No," Harry said firmly. "I am not going to let you risk your life for mine." "Weren't you the one who wanted to escape in the first place?" she exclaimed. "You're the only one who even thought about it, and after you got outside, you're just gonna go back in there? First of all, I'm not leaving anyone else behind, especially Wade," Harry said. "Second, my life outside of here is already a nightmare. It's a lose-lose either way." "What the hell are you talking about?" Octavia stammered. "There's no life for me out here," Harry said. "Ever since my parents died, I've never had a worse life. Look at my face, my scars, my eye. All these injuries you see are from my own little sister. I am nothing to her, just a punching bag. She blames me for our parents' deaths. She probably doesn't even care that I'm going." There was a pause. Octavia could not believe what she was hearing. How could someone like him have to suffer through all this? "Don't you see?" Harry continued. I have no family, no future, no life to live. Out of everyone trapped in that simulation with us, none of them could have had a worse life experience than me. The only thing I have to lose is everyone I need to save, even if I have to die for it. Octavia felt tears running down her face. She saw a tear on Harry as well. Will I see you again? She sobbed. I don't know, Harry replied. But the longer we wait here, the less time I'll have to get everyone else out. It was silent for a moment. Then out of nowhere, Octavia ran up and hugged Harry tight. He almost fell over. Harry waited a moment, shocked but also happy to finally see someone who cares. He hugged her back. They stayed like this for a few seconds, then Harry let go. Go, he said. Don't wait for me. I promise I'll get everyone else out the same way I got you out. Before Octavia could say anything, Harry turned and ran back inside the building. Octavia stood in her place, unaware of what to do. She turned and began to walk away, but as she did, her mind kept racing with fear and thoughts about what would happen to Harry. She couldn't just walk away. Harry just saved her life, and now she's just going to leave? No. She had to help him. It wouldn't be right for her to just let him go on his own to save the rest of them. She owes Harry big time, and this would be the only way out. She decided to turn around and head back to the building. However, upon doing so, she ran right into another guard. Any sudden moves, and you die, he said to her. Octavia stood frozen in fear. Why did she turn around and run back? She should have just listened to Harry, but she was so worried that she wanted to go back and try to assist him. However, instead of going to find him, she ended up running right into another guard. And the freedom that Harry just got her is now gone once again within just a couple of seconds. Who are you? She asked. The man removed his hood, revealing a familiar face, and he spoke. I am the boss around these parts, and nobody leaves without a debt to pay. Now come with me, unless you want a bullet in your head. That concludes Chapter 6 of Simulation. If you made it this far and you're enjoying the story, drop a like down below. And if you're enjoying the content I create, consider hitting the subscribe button. It's free, and you can always change your mind later. Hope to see you again for Chapter 7.